Well, today's intro is a little bit different. I know I promised I'd show you the games at the end of the regular season before the split, but I've changed my mind. You're going to get to see the last two games of the season during the split. You'll see why in just a moment. But a very important thing has appeared just on my screen just now, and it is a consortium has completed a Kilmarnock takeover, replacing former chairman Billy Bowie, who we had a very good relationship with. Remember that, Billy Bowie no longer the chairman. He has been replaced by a consortium led by investor Andrew Morgan. I thought I would just start recording the intro just now so you guys would see what actually is happening here live, to see how my reaction is to it. So the next message is that a personal message following the takeover. I want to thank you for your patience during what's been an undoubtedly stressful time for everyone involved with the club. This is not the first time there's been rumours of a consortium trying to take over. For about the last year and a half, Billy Bowie has been trying to sell the team. You remember when we looked at our pre-season, what the club wanted us to do, it said that they intended to sell the club at some point, and indeed he has done that now. Some 1.4 million has been pumped into the club's coffers, and a new transfer budget has been calculated. In line with my campaign promise, I've submitted bids for Lucas Miranda and Florian De Silva. I don't know who these people are. Well, Lucas Miranda looks like a very good striker. Valued at £1.5 million. He looks fairly well rounded. His finish is not that great, but he's better than I thought he might have been. He's scored a few goals at the club he's at just now. I didn't even know we'd done a scout report on him, but his scout report looks okay. So fair enough, they've made a bid for him. And Florian De Silva looks very good. We've not fully scouted him, but his 4-star ability apparently as a playmaker, and he can play attacking midfield as well. He's considered a good Scottish Premiership talent. I'll be honest, I am surprised that these players are trying to be signed. Now, he was signed for £185,000, but apparently we are calculating his value at 3, so I hope we're not putting too big a bid on him. How much have we bid? 3.8 million? And for Miranda, we've made a bid of 4.3, even though he's worth 1.5. That's interesting, but nonetheless, Gary Hughes and Phyllis McLeish have left the club following the takeover, and the replacements on the board are Chris Morris and Stan Munn as directors. So the club vision is it will play counter-attacking football. We don't do that. We play possession-based. Work within wage budget and a minimum 2-year contract for first-team players. This season, the stuff seems to have been kept the same. They're looking for us to do certain things, and we've not done some of them. But from next season, which I suppose is the important thing, is to continue to qualify for the Euro Cup, which we haven't done yet this season, and I will show you that in the episode. And obviously that final bit there is the board lifting the transfer embargo, because we are now actually owned by somebody, so they lift the transfer embargo, because the initial board will put a transfer embargo on because they don't want to spend any of their money if they're about to sell a thing. So yeah, that's the intro today. We have been taken over, and apparently 2 players are being signed out with my control, which I suppose means it's not going to be taken out my transfer budget, doesn't it? So that's always good. Welcome on to 11am Sports, here for the Killie boys on Football Manager 21. If you're new around here, do hit that subscribe button for Football Manager 21 content in your subscription box every day, Monday to Friday at 11am. Last time out, you'll remember, we played against Nice in the Europa League. That was all the way back in February. We're now in May in game time. I've advanced quite a long way, and I said in the intro, I know that I promised I was going to come back for a few games earlier on, but the season has just turned into one of those where it really isn't exciting, and that's the easiest way I can describe it. You can see here we are currently 5 points off of third place, which is closer than we were the last time you met us. 5 points off, 2 games to go, and our 2 games are against Motherwell in 4th and Hamilton in 3rd. So it could get exciting today. We could end up scraping into 3rd position, but it's likely not going to be that. Thankfully for us, Celtic play against Hamilton today when we play against Motherwell, so there's a high chance that Hamilton lose that game. And the next game week, Motherwell play against Rangers, who are up in 2nd. So in theory, if we do our bit, the Old Firm might do their bit for us. But all in all, this season it's been fairly disappointing so far. I'll show you some of the results we've had since we last met. So obviously we last met for that 3-1 loss against Nice, 5-2 on aggregate. And after that, we played in the Scottish Cup quarter-final, where we drew 2-2 with Rangers. Goals from Velasquez and Lukic there, taking it to a replay, which we eventually lost 1-0. To be honest, not a very interesting game from either side in that one. So we are unfortunately knocked out of the Scottish Cup at the quarter-final stage. In between those two games against Rangers, we did play Celtic in the league, where we lost 2-1. Again, not a great performance from us, but Alan Graham did score from the penalty spot. We then went on quite a good run in the Scottish Premiership, where we beat Aberdeen 1-0 with a late goal in the end from Roman Buchert, but we actually played well as a team in that game. I can't complain, to be honest. We'd started playing 4 at the back at this point again. We had moved back to 5 at the back, and you can see it didn't really work apart from that Hibs game. We then played against Hearts, where Bjorn Hardley, Bonilla and Lukic scored goals in a 3-0 victory. And we played Dundee United, who were at that point quite close with us, in kind of 5th and 6th position. We beat them 2-0. Buchert, I can never say his name. It's Buchert. I'd say lots of different ones. You tell me in the comments below what's right. And Josh O'Connor getting a goal in that game as well. Hamilton was the next team up, and if we'd beaten them, it would have been really good for our hopes of 3rd position. But unfortunately, we drew 1-0. We scored with the first attack of the game. We had 100% possession when we scored that goal. They scored immediately after, and then it was a boring game for the rest of it. Nothing really happened. Disappointing. We played Celtic in the Scottish Premiership after the split, and we lost 3-0 to them. Celtic are a good team. They've already secured the Scottish Premiership by 12 points or something at the moment, and they're in the final of the Europa League. So Celtic this season are a very, very good team. They've taken a step forward this year, and we've certainly taken a step backwards, it feels like. Dundee United were the next team up. We beat them 3-1 again. You see, we played them twice in the space of a month. We beat them 2-0 the first time and 3-1 the second time. They did go up 1-0 early on, but Bonilla, Lukic and Buchert scored some early goals as well for us just after that. Look at that. I didn't even realise that. 3 goals in 5 minutes from us meant we won 3-1. And then we just had our game against Rangers, where I was expecting to lose, but they did get a man sent off after 40 minutes, which meant that we dominated a lot of the ball. And eventually an Alan Graham penalty late on in the game got us the win, which has left us in with a chance, as you see from the league table there, of still getting 3rd. If results go our way, we can still get there. You can see the big problem for us. We've drawn 5 games. And drawn 5 games doesn't sound too bad, but when you see you've lost 13, that's the problem there. The teams around us, Hamilton, Motherwell, have all won 18 games as well. Just they've drawn more games than us, and that's what's put them further up the league table. They've only got 6 losses, 8 losses. We've got 13, and that's simply not good enough. You can see Hearts down here in 7th. I've got 13 losses, so we've got the same number of losses as them. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's see these 2 games against Motherwell and Hamilton and see if maybe we can scrape into the Europa League. Well, hopefully we can. So here is the team for the first game up against Motherwell. You can see we've made a few changes. Bonilla is unfortunately out injured for the next 4 weeks, which means he loses the season. He doesn't get another game to play for us this season. And I've made a few changes at the back as well, just to freshen things up, because I didn't feel as if some players are playing that well for us. So we're going to go with Trott in goal, with Renan Augusto and Anderson as the 2 centre backs. Egan Riley on the right, Kokavas on the left. Yao Francisco plays alongside Velasquez in the middle of the park, with Mooney ahead of them. Lukic gets the game on the right hand side in place of the injured Bonilla. Buchert on the left, and Alan Graham up top. Hopefully he can score goals. You see, he's now finally reached double figures. Remember, a long time ago we thought he was easily going to reach double figures. He's just scraped there, and we're possibly going to have to think about really replacing all the striking options here, because none of them have played particularly well this season. And one of the signings the board are considering bringing in, not my opinion, I haven't tried to sign them. The board have never promised to sign 2 players in. One of them is a striker, so maybe he'll get the shout next season. But again, we're looking too far in front. Let's see if these boys can do the job today and in a couple of days' time, to see if we can get into 3rd. That would be a big bonus after such a poor season, if we could get in 3rd place. And here we go, the game kicks off. An important one for us. It might not feel like it, but it would be very useful indeed if we could get the win. And we have a chance here. Lukic with the free kick early on, and it's tipped over the bar by Neves. I'm not sure he needed to make that save, but he did anyway. And I'm imagining the corner will have nothing from it. Lukic swings it to the back post, and it's headed away. I was right. And this game has been very boring so far. I've just been watching a timer tick along, because there's been no highlights since that one I showed you just before there. And we're about to reach half time, with that being the only highlight of the half. That is boring. go and give them their money's worth, I'll say, and I'll shout from the side of the park to demand some more and see what they do. It's a throw in from Kokavas here, and it's towards Booker and Velasquez and Alan Graham with it now. Let's see, can he do anything himself? No, he spreads the ball toward Lukic, but it's intercepted. And Egan Riley heads it back, and Lukic gets it eventually. And let's see if we can recycle this play. Yao Francisco passes it straight to Kavanagh, which is not who he was meant to pass the ball to, and Milligan gets it outside to Gotts. Gotts down the right-hand side. What can he do? He cuts in and swings it in toward Kavanagh, and it's headed off the post, and we clear it behind for a corner kick. And unfortunately for us, Hamilton are up 2-0, so it looks like no matter what we do here, we are not going to get third. But hopefully, if we get the right result here, we could end up getting into fourth position, which is obviously going to get us into the Euro Cup 2 at a slightly earlier round. But unfortunately, the team is not playing well at all, so I'll take off some of the kind of culprits of not playing well and see what they do. But Motherwell have got a chance here with the ball down the left hand side. Rekha with it. He crosses it over, does he? No, he just runs out of play. Oh no, it's a corner. Well, it looked like he just ran out of play. And we've got a free kick from deep within our own half here. Kokavas retrieves the ball and he kicks it straight off one of their players or one of our players, or kicks off somebody, and it nearly goes in the goal. But thankfully for us, it did not quite. I'm going to demand some more. You've not really seen a lot of highlights in this game, which is very disappointing indeed. I'll make another wee change. Who's not played well? Booker's not played well. We'll put Yao Francisco out there and bring in Decore to play in the middle of the park for the last 5 minutes. And it's a free kick right at the end of the game. Lukic swings it in. It's headed away. And will one of our players get to it? Kokavas, I think, just gets there. And Velasquez takes it into Renan Augusto and Decore and Velasquez. And maybe it's coming to the left-hand side here. Decore with the ball. Yao Francisco. O'Connor with it now. Velasquez, this is a good chance. But we pass it straight to Motherwell, who break down this right-hand side here with Milligan. Defender comes across to try and challenge, but he does not. He forces him out wide, and it's off the outside of the post and behind for a goal kick. And the time is ticking down here at the end of the game. But there's a corner late on. Lukic swings it and it's headed in. It's off the frame of the goal. That could have won us a game, and that could have got us into fourth position depending how results went. But it looks like we're going to draw this game 0-0, and it's going to be fifth position for Kilmarnock this year. Very disappointing indeed. Imagine winning the league and then not even getting into the top 4 here in the Scottish Premiership. That's disappointing indeed. Motherwell drawing 0-0 with us today, and Hamilton actually getting the win against Celtic, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. We wouldn't have got third, but it means you're definitely not going to get fourth. I was just simulating through here to try and see if maybe, there's any notification about us definitely finishing fifth, and maybe we got sacked. I don't think we'll get sacked, but maybe they would be slightly unhappy with it, but it doesn't look like there is going to be, so we'll just see for the game against Hamilton. Right, so here we are for the game up against Hamilton, and there is something I'm sure you will notice. The eagle-eyed viewers amongst you will notice we have a new name in goal, and the reason for that is I'm deciding to play Ryan Morris, and you will not know who Ryan Morris is because he's only just came through out of our youth prospects academy thing. He literally signed for us about a month ago, whenever it is you're allowed to sign your Nugents, your regions, depending what side of that divide you're on. And you can see he's already a 2-star player. So he's a championship quality player, but we'll see what he's like in this game. And his potential is 5 stars. He's come out age 16, not looking bad at all in terms of some goalkeeping stats there. And I, for one, are very excited to see what he could bring to this team in the future, certainly. He's only 1 star below both Trot and Much. I think he's someone that we could develop. We've really been improving our youth facilities over the last few years, spending a lot of money on it. And hopefully we can prosper from that with players like Ryan Morris coming through. I don't know how good he's eventually going to be, but looking at it already, he's already a championship quality player, as I say, age 16. And that could be very exciting. So he will get his debut today, and the rest of the team he'll be playing when he's playing in his debut are as follows. Renan Augusto and Anderson keep their spaces at centre-back. Egan Riley on the right, Kokavas on the left, Yao Francisco and Velasquez in the middle, and we're going to give Charles Bowie the game up in attacking midfield as well. Remember how good he was for us last year? He had, 14 goals, 13 assists in 35 games. Well, so far this season, 5 starts in the league, 7 off the bench, and he's not really performed. But we'll give him the last game of the season, see what happens. Why not? The game doesn't really mean anything. Rodell Richards gets the game on the right-hand side. Buchert gets the game on the left, and Lukic up front. Let's see how Ryan Morris does in his debut. I'm going to submit this team. We'll have to give a squad number to him. And what number will we give to him? I like specific numbers for goalkeepers. So nothing stupid like a 6 or an 8. But I think, if I'm being honest, I want to give him 41 or 26. 26 for Ryan Morris. Why not? He can have that one. He might end up with the number 1 very soon if he plays well. And if he continues with good performances throughout his career at Kilmarnock here, we will mark him tightly as always. And let's get into this game. So the players are out there, and it's a free kick early on, swinging by Charles Bowie, and it's Kieran O'Hara in goal for Hamilton, our former goalkeeper who we sold down south. He's come back up and he's playing for Hamilton. You can see Hamilton are wearing their kind of dark blue colour against our blue, so definitely not a kick clash there. Just about getting away with it with their very dark blue. The ball swung in from that corner and it's headed away by us early on in this game. A throw in from us on the right hand side. You can rail into Richards and into Bowie this time, and it's put into Lukic, and Lukic scores his 11th goal of the season. Maybe Lukic should have been our striker all along. Maybe I was just trying to force Alan Graham in because he costs us £18 million plus add-ons, possibly reaching up to 30. Well, I keep bringing that up, I know, but it was not a good signing, it would appear. Lukic with a lovely finish there, and we're at 1-0. And it's a free kick for Hamilton here. Hernandez, their right back, will swing it in toward the back post, and Renan Augusto clears it. And Buckert collects this ball, and the right back was on the left hand side taking the free kick, so he gets past their centre back and he hits it. And it's a good save from Kieran O'Hara up against his former team here. A very nice save. The ball's going to get swung in from Lukic from the corner, and it's headed away. It's always the case, isn't it? From a corner after the highlights, you get a shot, it goes out for a corner, nothing ever goes in. I don't know why they show us the corner if there's no chance it's going to be a goal. Bucker here comes forward with the ball. He finds Lukic, but it's a good chance from Hernandez, and Lukic chips the ball over the bar there. But yeah, it's one of the things about Football Manager that's slightly frustrating, because you know for a fact there's not going to be a goal from it, but they still show you the highlight for the corner anyway. Very annoying. The ball's played forward here. Hernandez collects it through to Davidson, and it's a good save from Morris on his debut. What a great save from the young lad. And we've got a free kick in our own half here. The ball finds Velasquez and Bowie, and could we perhaps get this forward? Richards heads it straight back to Bowie, who gets tackled by Benson, and Twine comes away with the ball and hits it, and it's dragged wide of the post. Morris didn't even have to make the save there. Ian Riley with a throw in on the right hand side. What's he going to do with this ball now? Is he going to play it back? He swings it in and it's headed away, but Yao Francisco finds this ball and finds Velasquez with it. And back to Francisco, and Lukic with it now, and Buckert finds Rodell Richards, who scores a goal, his second goal of the season. He's not had a lot of games for us this year. Remember, he was a stalwart of the side for the first few seasons, but a lovely, lovely finish from him. I think, understandably, Bonilla had taken his place this season, but Rodell Richards just proving when you need him, he is there, and it's a lovely finish at that far post, and it's 2-0 going into half-time here, which is not bad going at all. If we just played like this all season, we would certainly have been in third, possibly competing with the top two again. Well, this second has been fairly boring, but there's a highlight here swung in toward the back post by Hamilton. It's a good save from Morris, doing a very good job in his debut here with a 7.3 average rating at the moment. And that game is finished with a 2-0 win, a 7.8 he ended up with. Not a bad debut for Ryan Morris here, getting man of the match with a 7.8 rating. Maybe we have found our goalkeeper of the future in him. Maybe we have indeed. But all in all, a good wee result there. Lukic with a goal and Rodell Richards. And a lovely 2-0 win to finish the season. I'm going to say well done, everybody. That was fantastic work. The media reaction says you've got to be happy with the win. I am, but I'm not going to talk to you because I don't like talking to the media. You can see there we finished 4 points behind Hamilton, 3 points behind Motherwell, but a long, long way off of Celtic. That's 27 points behind this season. Bear in mind, we beat them by 7 points last year. That is a big turnaround Celtic have had. They have been the dominant performer in the division this year. 90 points from 38 games is no mean feat. And as I say, they're in the Europa League final as well, so they might do that, which can only help the Scottish coefficient in terms of getting positions for Europe. But it's worrying, because that Celtic team is a good team, and if we want to win the league again, we're going to have to try and find a way to beat it. And you can see there, Morris keeps clean sheet on debut. Not bad for a 16-year-old. Made an impressive start, as he says, to his Kilmarnock career. He's worked his way through the youth ranks, and I think he actually could be very, very good for us. And so we leave it today with how we look on the club vision. You see, it's a C-, not great since we were an A last year. They're slightly disappointed, but I don't think it's going to be bad enough to lose the job, to be honest. We did pass our objectives for the Champions League and the Europa League and the Betfred Cup, to be honest. Which, remember, we are a title winner this year. We did win the Betfred Cup, remember. Scottish Cup, we only got to the quarter-finals, and then we did come 5th in the Scottish Premiership. But we did only miss out in the Europa League spaces by 4 points, really, which was... it's disappointing when it's so close. If we were miles away, I could understand, I could accept it almost, but we're very, very close. I must say, I think ourselves, Motherwell and Hamilton, were fairly equally matched in the season. We had a very, very bad start, and we improved no ends as we progressed through the season. But this is where I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to witter on. We're not going to have a season review because there's not much to review this season. It wasn't that great. When we come back, we will be starting the 2027-28 season. Hopefully afresh. Maybe you'll see some new faces. Certainly ones at the board appear to have signed, so we'll find out what happens there. Some names might be going, some players might be going out, some might be coming in. And we'll see if we can try and get this title back. Because you see, Celtic will win it again, so they'll now have won it 4 times in the last 5 years. And we want to have similar records to that. So we want to be able to do that, competing in the Scottish Premiership and also in the Europa League, to the Conference League, whatever they're actually going to call it in real life. All in all, a disappointing season. But maybe we can get back. Hopefully we can get back. Certainly the Champions League places next season. If you have enjoyed this video, this whole season, this whole series, even all 70 odd episodes we've had of it, then please do leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more of this Killie boy's career. And until the next one, we'll see you then.